This is Genesis chapter 3 of the Wilson's translation. Genesis chapter 3, verse 1. Now the serpent was more cunning and full of intelligent deceit than any animal the Lord God had created. And one of them said unto Eve, Is it really true that God has told you that you are not allowed to eat from any tree in the garden? Genesis chapter 3, verse 2. And Eve said unto the serpent, We do eat freely from the fruit of the trees in the garden. Genesis chapter 3, verse 3. But concerning the fruit of the tree that is in the middle of the garden, God said, You shall not eat the fruit of that tree, nor shall you touch it, because it will cause you to lose the covering of innocence and purity that I have given you, and you shall be separated from me. Genesis chapter 3, verse 4. And the serpent said unto the woman, You shall not lose anything. Genesis chapter 3, verse 5. For God knows that when you eat that fruit, you'll become more like Him. You'll gain more knowledge and be able to rule like Him. Genesis chapter 3, verse 6. So the woman, believing the fruit of the tree was truly desirable to make one more insightful and wise, took of the fruit and ate it. And she also gave some to her husband who was with her, and he ate. Genesis chapter 3, verse 7. Then the spiritual eyes of them both were opened, and they were made aware of the shame of being naked. So they took fig leaves and fashioned coverings for themselves. Genesis chapter 3, verse 8. Afterward they heard the voice of the Lord God, and heard him walking in the garden in the cool and windy part of the day. And Adam and his wife hid from God amongst the trees of the garden. Genesis chapter 3, verse 9. And the Lord God called unto Adam and said, Where are you, Adam? Genesis chapter 3, verse 10. And Adam replied, I heard you moving and speaking in the garden, but I became frightened because I was naked, so I hid myself from you. Genesis chapter 3, verse 11. And the Lord God said, Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten fruit from the tree which I commanded you not to eat? Genesis chapter 3, verse 12. And Adam said unto the Lord, The woman whom you gave to be my wife gave me some of the fruit from the forbidden tree, and I ate. Genesis chapter 3, verse 13. And the Lord God said unto the woman, Why have you done this? And Eve answered the Lord God and said, The serpent beguiled me, confused and tricked me, and I ate fruit from the forbidden tree. Genesis chapter 3, verse 14. Then the Lord God spoke unto the serpent, Because you have done this, you are now cursed above all the wild beasts that I have created, and above all the wild animals of the field. You will crawl on your belly from now on, and you will eat dust for the rest of the days of your life. Genesis chapter 3, verse 15. And I will put hostile enmity between you and the woman, and between your descendants and her descendants. Her descendant will attack your descendant's head and break it open, fatally wounding it, but your descendant will only bruise her descendant's heel. Genesis chapter 3, verse 16. Unto the woman God said, I will greatly increase your pain in childbirth, yet your desire shall be towards your husband, and he shall be in charge of you. Genesis chapter 3, verse 17. So unto Adam the Lord God said, Because you chose to obey the voice of your wife over me, and ate from the tree after I commanded you not to eat from it, the ground will now be under the curse because of your disobedience. In sorrow and painful toil shall you glean the fruits thereof all the days of your life. Genesis chapter 3, verse 18. It will also produce thorns and thistles for you to contend with you, yet you shall eat the herbs and plants of the field. Genesis chapter 3, verse 19. You will work very hard and sweat in order to have food until you return to the ground when you die, for you were formed from the dust, and unto the dust you will return. Genesis chapter 3, verse 20. And because she was the mother of all living, Adam called his wife's name Eve, meaning life spring or life giver. Genesis chapter 3, verse 21. Also the Lord God made tunics from animal skins and clothed Adam and Eve. Genesis chapter 3, verse 22. Then the Lord God said, Behold, Adam has become unholy and fallen, because he has chosen to allow the knowledge of good and evil into his being, and now he might decide to stretch out his hand take fruit from the tree of life and eat. This would cause him to live in this sinful fallen condition forever. Genesis chapter 3, verse 23. In order to avoid this catastrophe, God chose to send Adam forth from the Garden of Eden to till and cultivate the ground from which he had been created. Genesis chapter 3, verse 24. So the Lord God cast Adam out of the Garden of Eden, and on the east side of the Garden of Eden God stationed cherubim who used swords of fire to guard the way to the tree of life.